Cool. So we have this URL here that isn't performing too terribly well for a variety of keywords. We have 26, right? And our domain rating is 10 out of 100. So according to Ahrefs, this particular SEO tool, we're not doing great. Now, what we can do is we could just kind of identify different keywords to go after, right? So here's best mortgage broker in Los Angeles, right? So that's clearly an opportunity that's advantageous in their mind. So that could be a good thing to go after. Or we can just take a look at what other people are doing, what maybe some of the competitors are doing. And the way that we do that is if you come over here to this other section, you can find kind of some different opportunities here. One is competing domains. So you can kind of look at domains that are performing for the same keywords, competing pages. And here's kind of just some opportunities to look at kind of what other people are doing. Because we're underperforming, really, we're doing great for pretty much any keywords, frankly, then we're probably going to want to do this one instead. This is called a content gap. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to grab a handful of these competitors here. Apologize. There we go. And I'm just going to pop them in here into these places here. Veterans United. There's a veteran one that focuses on veteran loans in particular. Add that. And then rate.com. Does anybody have questions about anything that's going on so far? Okay, now this one right here, this toggle is at least one of the targets should rank in the top 10. That can be helpful because you could just get a list of all of their keywords, just period, and that could be good. Or you could say, well, at least one of these websites has to be in the top 10. So that can be helpful. So you can kind of see here, we have some pretty hefty keywords here. Mortgage calculator, 3 million monthly searches, like pretty awesome, but 85 keyword difficulty, that's going to be extremely challenging for us to be able to get there. So I just don't think that's particularly realistic. They're performing in the images, at least they're performing for the term house. That's pretty cool. Mortgage rates, you can kind of see a lot of these are going to be extremely difficult. So probably not too terribly likely. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to change this keyword difficulty. And we have how many keywords we have here? 121,000. I'm going to do it for under 15 from 0 to 15 keyword difficulty. Show me some of these keywords that are looking a little bit more realistic. There we go. And so you can kind of see here, like you can kind of go through and maybe some of these are going to be a little bit better. It looks like there's quite a few rocket different things in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to exclude rocket out of there because I'm not particularly interested in seeing branded terms. So I'm going to eliminate that, and it's doing its thing. But you can see even with that, even with bringing down the keyword difficulty down so low, we're still like 11,000 keywords to go through. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring down this keyword difficulty even more. Oh, and here's Loan Depot. That's another competitor I'd love to get out of there. So, pull those out. Okay, this is going to take a minute here. Okay, so this is kind of some things that I have done for these guys in the past. Gosh dang it, here's more rocket stuff, whatever. So you can kind of see here, some of these look like they could be a good potential, VA Vendy loan program. I don't quite know what that is. I know that the client told us that they do well with VA or veteran different things. So I'm going to go ahead. I just want to see only keywords that have VA or veteran in it. And let's take a look at that because we still have a lot of keywords to consider here. So let me reduce this down and see if that doesn't put us in a better spot. Anybody have any questions about this? Okay. Okay. So, yep, here we go. Here we have kind of some more keywords to potentially work with and stuff like that. And these are looking a little bit more dialed in, you know. So Vendy loan program. I don't exactly know what that is, but this is looking like a lot more reasonable of a list. 417 keywords, and a lot of them have, there's some pretty hefty traffic here. Um, joint VA loan. I don't know what that is, So you can kind of go through and you can kind of just have to sift through here and try to figure out what could be a good opportunity for you and for the client. And of course, you're going to have to run these by them. But what I found is I did this and I was kind of like, this is interesting that we have like VA loan Tampa. Like we have quite a few of different keywords of that nature. And let's see how difficult is that one? 3, but there's 500 monthly searches, right? So that's looking like a pretty dang good opportunity. So as I kind of looked through this, I would send these keywords potentially over to a client and try to get some feedback from them and say, hey, as you're looking through these keywords, are there ones that you're like, oh yeah, if we were well positioned for that particular keyword, we would just be, in a great spot. And we can ask them those kind of questions. Sometimes they're going to say, no, it doesn't look like any of these are really winners for us necessarily. And that's absolutely going to happen. Sometimes these opportunities, even though there may be a good amount of traffic, maybe there's something here that the likelihood of that becoming like a paying client is super low. I don't know. That's just the question that you'll just have to discuss with the client. So what you can do is you can actually export this data into like a spreadsheet. So you can hit export. And that can be good because then you can kind of just see a little bit more of the data all at once. And then you can kind of say, okay, I'm seeing a common theme of, I'm not even finding one necessarily, finding a common theme of foreclosures. And by common theme, I mean it's on here twice. So maybe if that was a common theme, you could kind of go after that. What I think I see as I look through here, what I think could be the greatest opportunity is actually going after programs and by programs, I of course mean keywords. I don't know why I said that are actually things like this: VA loans, NJ or New Jersey, right? VA loan, Tampa. I think that is honestly very interesting. Like, okay, veteran loan, VA loan, Tampa, VA home loan, Tampa, VA loan expert, Tampa. Like, so that's kind of what I think is kind of interesting. Let's take a look here and go VA loan. Let's go Idaho. Okay, we have a little bit of traffic here, but maybe not as much as we might think. But it looks like the keyword difficulty here is going to be pretty low. VA home loan Idaho, 30 monthly searches. Awesome. Like that's maybe not like a lot of traffic, but that's like the opportunity for that to convert and to be a good client looks pretty dang good to me. So I'm actually going to go VA loan. Let's see. Are people looking a little bit more granularly? They are. So we have 70 monthly searches here for VA loan Boise. So the strategy that I would recommend that we do for these guys would be something more like Idaho VA loans or something like that. And then I would break those out into submarkets as well, especially the ones that are the most notable. So I would probably create pages, have this page, but then underneath that have Boise, have Idaho Falls, have Coeur d'Alene, have different things like that. That's probably the strategy that I would recommend based on the amount of traffic that's out there. So I would absolutely have a Florida VA loan page or something like that, right? And then build one out for Tampa, build one out for Orlando, build one out for all these different areas, because there's going to be these pockets of traffic all throughout these that I think are going to be a good opportunity for us. Let's see here. Let's look at Orlando. VA loan Orlando. Not bad, 20, right? There's fish in the water. So all that's looking pretty good. You can go specifically and you can have one on renovation loans. You could have, any different things in here, but there, it looks like there's a good amount of traffic. VA loan, mortgage, Orlando. Like there's so many different varieties that are out there. Let's see, VA loan, GA, Georgia. Not bad. Lots of opportunity. So this is probably the route that I would go with this particular campaign. And I came across that because I found this VA Loan Tampa one, the VA Loan NJ one, and different things like that. That's kind of what helped me be able to get to kind of those keywords. And then of course we can send these out to the client and get kind of their feedback on those keywords. Does anybody have any questions on that process?
This is kind of, I guess, after that process, but like when you find a great keyword, like how long do you keep doing like link building for the same one? Like when are you done?
It's a good question. And I don't know if there's really a great answer, to be quite honest, because let's talk about your finance partners in particular. Like we've for them, we went after truck terms. Let's see, I'll go pull up their website here. Big. So what's interesting is as I look at their keywords, like there's so many things that we're doing so well for them. Like we got them onto the first page for big rig lending. That was a pretty big one. Like semi-truck financing, that thing has gone well. But what's so interesting is as we have done this, we then found out that these people are really difficult to finance. And that sucks. We spent a lot of time and a lot of resources to get them competitively positioned, and they've had several inquiries, and like one of them has stuck. That hurts, but that's kind of what we do. So it kind of just depends on how well positioned they are for these different keywords. We have kind of since, moved on to some different terms because we're like, hey, I don't know if this is really going to turn the corner for them. We could get them all these inquiries all day, but if they're not converting, then does that really help us? And the answer is probably not, right? But what I'm seeing that's kind of interesting, if I come over here to their dashboard, is we have them that they're kind of moving into a variety of different really, really good keywords that they're like almost really competitively positioned for there. Sorry. Okay, Chile just had to go. Apologize. So yeah, for your finance partners, if I come over here and I look at some of the keywords that we're tracking for them, like they're moving up really well for a variety of different keywords. So we've kind of worked on Las Vegas business loans and different things like that. Commercial lending, Las Vegas, you can start to see a lot of these are kind of on the brink of being really, really well positioned, or they're kind of already moving up into some of those top positions, which is exciting. So we'll continue to work on these different objectives because yeah, business loans, Las Vegas, different things like that. That could be a really, really good one for them.
Question. So if you start looking at like a new keyword for them, like if I added one for Pick PT or something, how do I add it to like be tracked on a?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. So yeah, here, if you hop in here, you just add it here and say, you can add a location, but I don't think you can get more granular than, I didn't think so. I was like, you can't really get more granular than like United States, maybe here, let's see here. Okay, so you can get a little bit more granular here for like Idaho Falls, right? I don't know how great this is, to be quite honest, but that can be kind of helpful, especially if you are trying to take over, Rigby, Idaho, or something like that, right? So you can kind of add in these different keywords here, or something like that, right? And then I think you just have to hit enter kind of a thing, and it should add them there. Any questions about that? Okay. Yep, and this can be a good way to kind of just keep an eye on some different keywords and stuff like that. But as far as like when do you move on to different keywords and different things like that? Um, yeah, I don't know if there's really a great answer. It's just you kind of just do the best that you can there as long as you can. And then realize sometimes you just need to, because a lot of times when we do a lot of this great work on some of these pages and stuff like that, like the fruit of that, the actual like conversions and stuff like that won't happen till significantly later. So what we've done for some of our clients is we've kind of worked on an objective for a while, kind of pushed it for, maybe 2-3 months, have kind of moved on to a different objective and then come back. Because, after a few months later, then we can come back and say, okay, well, this is how we did, looks like things really were moving for like Cooper Norman, for example. We finally got them onto page 1 for like Idaho Falls terms and stuff like that. And that's been an objective that we've been hitting pretty heavily there. But hey, in the meantime, we actually stepped away from some of the dental practice keywords, and some of those are doing relatively well now. So kind of an interesting thing that we were working on the dental practice things for a while, stepped away from it, and you can kind of see dental accounting 8. Like, that's pretty exciting, right? Healthcare accounting, not doing so great there. That's okay. Orthodontic accounting, number 1. So we set up a bunch of these random keywords. And if we had like watched them all the time, like on a weekly basis, I don't know how much movement there would have been, but kind of coming back to it, we're kind of like, okay, wow, like things really are moving for some of these like dental accounting terms and stuff like that. So yeah, any other questions about that? Cool. So yeah, this is kind of just part of kind of what the strategy looks like, of kind of putting that together and saying, hey, here's where I think this opportunity is. This is what I think is going to be the most helpful for our clients. Maybe it is, hey, let's add some more content to this particular page because we're performing relatively well here for this particular one. Maybe it is, hey, let's turn I thought I had it still open. Maybe let's turn this page into an actual landing page rather than just I don't know, just a PDF, right? So those could be kind of opportunities that we can identify through kind of some of this auditing process there. So any other questions?
Okay, I actually have a question, but it doesn't have anything to do with what you're talking about. So if that's okay.
Perfect.
I forgot about this. So I did citations for and X, and I just recently checked on them, but it was denied, and I have no idea why. I don't know if it was because it's the same phone number as the other locations, but it wouldn't let me verify the location.
On what site was it that it got denied on?
Apple did not let me.
Those guys.
And then Yelp, I had it at the Boise location, and then I just went and looked at it, and it switched it to the Idaho Falls location. And the only thing in common was the phone number. So I don't know if that's what's messing it up or
yeah, that can cause an issue. So yeah, a lot of times when we try to set up these new listings and stuff like that for these different locations, we need to insist that they have a unique phone number. So I can have kind of that conversation with Andy and Alan and try to figure out if that could be something that is possible, that we get those listings set up with unique phone numbers, and that will be helpful to us. Because sometimes they'll be like, it looks like you're just kind of making another listing, something smells a little fishy here on this, and they're just trying to do their best to fight against spam and stuff like that. But yeah, so yep, your suspicions are probably right.
Okay.
And then also sometimes if there are places where people are kind of just setting up random listings, that can be something that Apple or Yelp or even Google are kind of like, hey, people set up random listings here all the time. This is smelling a little fishy. So that could be potentially it too, because I think it's not necessarily a virtual office, but I think it is kind of like a super small office space in a building where a lot of people set up listings is kind of what I think might be happening. So that could also be kind of fighting against you.
Okay, cool. I was just like, I don't think I did it wrong, but no, it didn't work.
No, and a lot of times it's not necessarily because we did anything wrong per se, but they're just trying to play defense, and stuff like that. And so there's not really a great solution oftentimes to that. It's kind of like, oh well, where do we go from here? Great question. So
Okay.
cool. Awesome. Well, any other questions there? Okay, cool. Well, hey, just want to let you know, all three of you there in particular, I really, really appreciate all the hard work that you do. Really pleased with the work that we're doing at this point for the content that we're writing. You know, we sent shout out to Katie here. She sent over a piece of content on how to file, was it a trademark or a trademark, right?
I did patent and trademark, so
You did all of them. So we
Mhm.
sent that over to the client, and the client had some changes and stuff like that, which is totally typical.
Mhm.
But it was like, hey, yeah, looking pretty dang good. That's pretty impressive. So, you know, hope you give yourself a good pat on the back there for that one, because I mean, obviously you've probably dabbled in patent and trademark law, you know, most of your life here, but yeah, I know that was kind of a unique opportunity for you, and the expert themselves were like, yeah, not bad. That's that's pretty awesome. So
Well, thank you.
you got it. Sorry, Kendall. I wish I had some specific opportunity to praise you, but I know you're a hustler, so I'm really grateful for you. Done. Cool. Well, thank you all for your time there. Appreciate all of you. I'll let you guys get back to your day, and I'll look forward to seeing Kendall later today. Yeah, we have a.
I was gonna ask, do I need to like wear or do anything specific or just show up?
You just show up and dress however
Okay.
you would like to. We do have a video project that's going to be shot here out in our home. And Kendall is going to be our talent. So pretty awesome. But yeah,
Okay.
so and the shots will be super quick, like, so there's like nothing you really have to worry about too much. We'll just have you kind of interacting and engaging with the homies as they come and do the install. They're really nice guys, but they're super like, they're kind of the general technician that's like, oh, don't, I just do good work, please don't make me have to talk to, you know. But anyways, they're really sweet guys, so I think you'll have a
Okay.
good time interacting with them and stuff. So
Who's
Okay.
the video
That
project?
sounds good.
this one is for Silver Star.
Oh, okay. I remember. I was like, it's not Arco.
No, not Arco. Yeah, we've already done that one in our house.
I know.
So, cool. Well, thank you all so much there. We'll chat with you another day. So bye.